Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. We're back with more Doctor Who. Bibbs has emerged from surgery. Woo!
Better every day.
Yay!
And Meredith and Alonso.
Sorry we missed last week, because that ended up being a little bit more important an episode.
Lots
than,
of stuff went down.
Like the teaser for Face the Raven was like, and then there's gonna be like an alien Diagon Alley
How cute.
how adorable, and then we're killing off Clara. Like what the whoa?
Which I don't know. I frankly,
I'm fine with it.
I need a body. I just on this show, they've made me very gun shy. I don't trust them anymore. But I'm gonna assume yes. Okay, fine. Maybe this happened.
We knew Jenna Coleman was leaving.
Yeah.
I just assumed that they were going to do it maybe at the end of the season.
Or in the Christmas special.
Yeah, or in the Christmas special, because it was an unusual send-off, but not when you consider Amy and Rory. I mean, they also sacrificed themselves essentially when they left. So this might be the new way that companions go. But I liked it. I mean, the way that she chose. But it also seemed weird because for as much as she's the impossible girl, I still expect her to come back because...
Well, she has to. If there's another incarnation of the Doctor, she needs to have a cameo.
Exactly.
This makes sense if you watch the Matt Smith episode.
Well, I was really hoping that the second episode was called
Heaven Sent.
Heaven Sent. Yeah, I'm really hoping you guys can walk me through that one because I was watching going, there's things here that I would know if I'd been watching this show.
Let's
before.
focus on Face the Raven, though, for a moment, because I've been very critical about how, not Clara herself, per se, so much as how much the show has been focusing on her and how it felt like the Clara Oswald program with her fun best friend, the Doctor, for a while. And I feel like this season, I finally grooved on her. Like, it finally felt like they got the mix right, and it was right before they killed her off. And I did like that she ended up dying not in like this huge event. She didn't die in like the biggest episode ever. She died just kind of doing what she always does, except this time it didn't work out, which feels like the way most people go is just, and this time it didn't work out. Sorry.
Although part of it, I kind of felt like maybe if you'd listened to those instructions a little more clearly, this might not have happened.
But that's Clara, and that really kind of shows the dichotomy between her and the Doctor. And you do see this again in Heaven Sent, that, he really thinks through everything on multitudes of levels, and Clara just kind of, she's not the Doctor. She tries to be him, and she doesn't process all those different levels, and she just kind of did her thing trying to be the Doctor, and it didn't work out, and she suffered those consequences.
Well, she's sort of, like a lot of the companions, she relies on the Doctor to always have a solution.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't know it at the time, he'll figure it out. He always does. Except occasionally he doesn't, and people die. Yeah, and it's very rare that a companion sees the death of another companion and moves on. So it's not very real to them. They just go on these fantastical adventures, and if anyone dies, they were a supporting character that we can move past.
Yeah.
And I thought it was actually I liked that there was a moment to process, like you're going about your day, and then, no, you have 5 minutes left to live. It was like that, it was like there was a Saturday Night Live sketch once where someone says, you're gonna die, how long do I have? About 5 minutes, and it's just, I'm gonna live the best 5 minutes ever. And it's like, no, you're just gonna process this, and it's gonna be real sad, and then a raven's gonna fly into your chest and
suck your soul right out of you.
Basically, that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, I have to say, I'm not loving the Ashildr episodes. Like, I like the first one. Her subsequent appearances, I'm just like, I'm not super into it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't find her through line as an ongoing immortal all that compelling.
She doesn't have a through line. She has nothing she's moving towards, and that's the thing that's kind of frustrating about her.
Well, that's it. She just keeps showing up and is sort of an irritant.
I felt this one was a little forced because, where we last left her, I felt like, I want to save the world from you, but it didn't seem that combative. Like, I felt they were almost going to work in tandem, but this time she felt just, I don't know, this whole thing like, well, they're coming for you, and I did this to save my people. Like, where did this come from? And then the one thing I liked is that she played this role to really, we got to see this side of the Doctor, and we got to see this side of Capaldi as the Doctor, which I loved because...
The darkness?
The darkness.
Yeah.
And that inside of him is kind of why... when they cast him as the Doctor, that I was like, when we go down this path, if we go down this path where we get to see a really twisted, angry, almost evil Doctor, Capaldi's going to own at it, and he did.
Which brings us, if we want to skip over the actual events of Heaven Sent to the end of Heaven Sent, which is the Doctor emerging from his confession dial. on Gallifrey, which is just like, oh, that's not good. There was a time when the Doctor was best known as, or across the universe, as the coming storm, and I think we're going to see some of that. That'll be neat.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
But we can't skip over the events in heaven.
No.
Because there's, okay, well, and real quick, going back to the Raven episode, is when Clara was going to die, the bells rang again. And this is something I've noticed throughout a couple of the episodes. Whenever there's a huge event, especially when someone is going to die, bells have been ringing.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that's something I've gone back. It happened, and it usually happens in the Ashildr episodes too, because I noticed it when she was coming down the stairs and the men, when she was coming down to meet the Doctor. So there's something tied in there, and I actually want to go back before the end of the season next week and document when it comes in, because I know it's tying into something. I think it's our, crack in the reality, our bad wolf of the season,
Or at least the drums.
Yeah, or the drums.
He'll knock 5 times. But so your issue, so you were watching Heaven Sent, and was it just unclear, or what was unclear about the episode?
Oh, no. It's just the idea of, I got the notion of if I do this enough times, that I thought was cool. And I like the episodes where they sort of do kind of short story kind of things, I liked the notion of the sort of hidden street of thing. It's very much platform 8 3/4 or whatever, but that's kind of cool. And in Heaven Sent, I liked the notion of having to go through this stuff over and over again. But obviously, the big finale, the hybrid stuff, I didn't know what any of that meant.
The hybrid is new to this season.
I know it's come up before, but it's never registered with me.
No, it is. But you notice what he said. The hybrid is me. What if it wasn't himself he was referring to? Who else goes by me?
Oh. Yeah. So that means we got at least one more fucking Ashildr episode.
That's very Moffat. That would be very Moffat to go that literal with the words. That's a good point, though. But I was thinking, though, because he's not a hybrid, except he was when Paul McGann was the Doctor, but they never brought that up again.
See, and she has the chip in her, so she's I'm just saying.
Yeah, we'll see. I just want Timothy Dalton to come back.
Aww.
I'm still a little hazy. Is Gallifrey still time locked, or were those different Gallifrey? Where's Timothy Dalton and the Time Lords who look like they're going to become weeping angels? Where are they? I don't know. Help. Help.
I did want to throw out real quick, and I don't know if there's a big crossover between these, but for people who are fans of Russell Davis, the actress who played the young Janice in the Raven episode was one of the regulars on both Cucumber and Banana, which Logo aired this year. It was his new interlocking shows that aired this past year.
That's cool.
I like that.
Which Dave caught, actually, and not me. He had walking through there, he was like, what did she have? Yes, good call. I totally missed that.
We just need to talk about I just think how fucking brilliant Heaven Sent was.
Yeah.
I really do. There's this interesting thing where there are still no particularly good video game movies, but there are a lot of great cinematic storytelling that are taking the ideas we've got from video games and using them to great dramatic effect. And here we've got basically a life system in a mist maze that is paying off, and it was really intensely, excitingly dramatic. This reminded me of a Harlan Ellison story.
It really did.
Yes.
Really
I did like when the castle shuffles itself.
Yeah.
Well, and that was my thing. I was like, oh, it's in the confession dial, but how does he get out of it? He's just gonna spend 2 billion years.
The one thing is when he goes and he sees his clothing drying on the rack by the fire. Do you think the first time he went through the rest of the maze naked?
I would imagine he would.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. There's a few sort of iffy elements to it.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm just picturing that.
You can enjoy that.
Or he just waits.
He's but the clothing has to be there for him to pick up the next round.
Oh, right.
It does wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who wrote Beethoven's Fifth? There you go.
Wetty dry.
There you go. So one more episode left.
Yes.
And all we know is that it's Gallifrey.
Yeah.
They didn't even do a next week on Doctor Who, the bastards.
Oh, I can't.
It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah.
So then we've got a Christmas special, and then as we've just learned today, we have a Peter Jackson episode to look forward to.
It's what it looks like, and yay!
So
fun. Enjoy, audience. We'll be there with you.
See you next time.